perpetual indulgence for their outstanding service to the LGBTQ plus community. Resulting Sister Unity and Sister Lydia. Our next guest is the only openly gay Major League Baseball player, current or former, alive today.
The next day.
He swings here and he drives one into center field. Deep. DeLuca back. He looks up. Goodbye. Way out of here. And there's a grand slam. And the Giants have broken it open here.
The next day.
The Giants get their first sweep in LA since 2012. They score the most runs they've ever scored in a 3-game series at Dodger Stadium. They've won their...
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is a story that probably could not have wrote itself better in regards to the outcome of it, okay? As we have to revisit the viral story about the LA Dodgers hosting the LGBTQ nuns who mock Christianity, more specifically Catholicism, as their hobby, right? This is what they do. Okay, and the left have defended these LGBTQ nuns as, well, this is legitimate, right? It's legitimate to mock religion, right? But people weren't having it, okay? People actually showed up to the LA Dodgers stadium to protest. More people were outside protesting than were inside while the LA Dodgers were honoring the LGBTQ nuns, okay? The stadium was basically empty, right? A lot of people accusing the LA Dodgers of taking the coward way out by having the nuns be honored like an hour before the game, before people showed up, right? But, you know, hey, I think that it's bad that people didn't show up, period, to watch the LGBTQ nuns. And if they would have been honored in the middle of the game, then they probably would have been booed out of the stadium. So with that being said, right, the follow-up to this event is hilarious, as the Dodgers got swept in the series versus the Giants and suffered the worst home loss in 125 years after honoring anti-Catholic drag queen. So let's actually read about this, because this is absolutely hilarious, okay? The Dodgers deserve every bit of this. Not that this had anything to do with anything, but the Los Angeles Dodgers were humiliated by their arch rival this weekend after deciding to host and honor a group of anti-Catholic drag queens at their Pride Night event on Friday. The weekend began as awfully as it ended for the Dodgers. On Friday, the team bestowed the, quote, Community Heroes Award on the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, a group of drag queens who routinely mock the Catholic faith, who by performing grotesque sexual acts while using religious imagery, garb, and symbolism. Yeah, again, that's something that again, it's like one of those things where it's like, why, right? Why? What's the point? What type of pleasure do you get out of that? Even if you consider it to be satire, right? If you say, well, this is satire, why? Right? I just got questions. I'm just saying, like, it's extremely offensive, and we know that you can never get away with that if the roles were reversed, okay? If somebody openly mocked the LGBTQ community like that, they would never be able to get away with it. And what really blows my mind about this is the fact that these people are the same people that claim they want love and acceptance, right? Well, we just want to be accepted, right? We just want to be accepted by everybody. And it's like, well, this is not the way to be accepted, right? Openly mocking people's religion, even if you're doing it in a way that's satirical, is not a way to get people to accept your lifestyle and who you like to sleep with, okay? It's probably not the best way to make friends. I'm just saying. Fans barely outnumbered cameramen and security guards as the Dodgers honored the sisters in front of what appeared to be 50 people. Meanwhile, outside the stadium, thousands of pro-Catholic protesters protested and at one point even blocked one of the main entrances to the stadium. Yeah, so this is one of the videos that was viral. Again, people really showed out, man. They really did. As bad as things were for the Dodgers before the game started, they didn't get any better once they started playing. The Dodgers dropped their Pride Night game to their hated rival, the San Francisco Giants, 7-5. It got worse, though much worse, on Saturday, the Dodgers were absolutely hammered by the Giants 15-0 in the team's worst loss since the William McKinley administration. Wow. So these people got skunked, right? The Dodgers got skunked 15-0 following Pride Night. Again, the irony here is crazy, okay? I'm just saying, I'm not sure if they have anything to do with each other, but maybe, just maybe, at the very least, it was a distraction, okay? All the things that were happening when it came to Pride may have been a distraction for these players. Who knows? Or maybe there's some divine intervention here, right? That's sending a message that, hey, this is not okay, right? Maybe this is not something that we should necessarily be tolerating, which is mocking of somebody's religion in such a disrespectful way. And on Sunday, the Giants completed the sweep and took their first series from the Dodgers in Los Angeles since July 2021 with a 7-3 victory. So to recap, the Dodgers alienated thousands of their loyal fans, virtually every national and California-based Catholic diocese and political organization, and angered millions of Christians of every denomination nationwide, not to mention, offending God. Then the Dodgers suffered their worst loss in 125 years while getting swept in a 3-game series at home by their arch rival for only the 6th time since both teams moved to California in 1958. But again, I'm sure the Dodgers' decision to honor the group known for making a grotesque mockery of Catholicism had nothing to do with any of that. Again, that's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. I'm not sure, right? But this is not the first time we've seen stories like this, okay? And what happens is that the left goes into denial, right? They go into denial about this idea that maybe divine intervention could play a part in disasters happening, okay, when, it seems that the people that are the victims of the disaster aren't necessarily going along with what's in the Bible, okay? So, like, for example, this story right here that I find to be fascinating, but also hilarious at the same time, not because of what happened, but because of how the liberal fact checker, in this case, Snopes, is handling this story, right? It's about a story that went viral about a church that embraces LGBTQ people, okay, a woke church, burned down after a lightning strike, right? So I want to read this fact check because it's absolutely hilarious. But before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can check out my new merch, like, for example, my signature racist mug, which is a daily reminder of the 2023 definition of racist according to the left, which is anybody who disagrees with the Democrat Party. My logo is also on the back. You can check it out at my website, gforemanbcp.com. You can get 20% off using discount code TEAMBCP. So without further ado, let's get into it. On June 6, 2023, a viral tweet with a video of a church building fire began to receive thousands of engagements. The caption of the tweet read, quote, "Woke LGBTQ plus church gets struck by lightning and burns to the ground." All right, let's watch this video. Wow. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, so that church got struck by lightning, okay? In this story, we've laid out the facts behind this subject. The context of the apparent implication that a higher power caused the fire, thoughts from the church's leader, and also background on the property's century-old history. 2 hours surprise that history included another fire that occurred in the 19th century. The video in the tweet was captured on June 2nd. It showed a devastating fire that destroyed First Congregational Church of Spencer in Massachusetts. First, the tweet claimed that the church in the clip had embraced woke LGBTQ people. It's true that the church had publicly posted positive messages about pride in recent years, according to a number of past images on its Facebook page. Yeah, so it posted images that are in support of a lifestyle that, I mean, I guess you could say is probably not supported in the Bible. I'm just saying. But hey, they thought it was a good idea anyways. Again, it's one thing to be welcoming to people and say, hey, look, we accept people from everywhere because ultimately you want to convert them to your religion. It's another one to give an endorsement. right? I don't think that there should be an endorsement. I think there should be welcoming, okay? I don't think there's anything wrong with welcoming people and say, hey, you know, come to our church, right? Because that's the way that you can, you know, change them and influence them or whatever, right? If you disagree with their lifestyle, how they live. But I don't think that you should be endorsing it, okay? There's a difference between welcoming and endorsement. Second, the tweet said the church was struck by lightning, causing it to burn to the ground. This was also true. Yeah, they hate to admit that. While these two facts of the claim were accurate, it's a subjective, evidence-free conclusion to assert the two things were linked and that a higher power chose to burn down the church. Well, I mean, hey, you know, this is not the first time we've seen stuff like this, okay? Look what happened to the George Floyd mural, okay? The left had made him an idol, okay? God says that we're not supposed to be idolizing human beings like that. And the mural got struck by lightning. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's what happened to this church, but I mean, the Dodgers, George Floyd, this church, there's a pattern here. Even before the viral tweet that appeared to try to link the two facts, the church's leader, Rev. Bruce McLeod, had addressed parishioners and provided his own thoughts, saying, I don't think God made the fire. Cool, I have to say that I don't think God made the fire. I don't think God made us sick. I don't think God makes the bad things happen. I don't think God does it to teach us things. I don't think God does it to punish us. I do believe God is there with us in the midst of it, and that God is here with us to help us pick up the pieces and figure out what to do next. McLeod is an intern pastor of both the Spencer and Leicester congressional churches. He made these remarks 2 days after the fire on June 4th, as both churches met in Leicester for the weekly Sunday service. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, hey, it is what it is, right? Do I know if this church got burned down because God struck it down for accepting LGBTQ people? I don't know that, right? I don't know that for certain. All I'm saying is that it's hilarious to watch the mainstream liberal media try to explain it, right? But, you know, again, some of this stuff could be a coincidence. It could be something else. Who knows? I just find the coincidences here to be fascinating. They appear to be showing up quite a bit to be coincidences. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and support.